Hello everybody, this instructional video is to teach you how to use non-verbal techniques inside your practice. First, I want to tell you about the practice of a certain Racanelli, was in Italia, and he did magnetism. Racanelli had 3 rooms in his office. The first room, he had people come, and in this first room, he spoke with the people, friendly. Second room was for deeper work, but with used words, he tried to understand the problems of the persons. Third room was a silent room. In this room, he worked just non-verbally. You understand that practically is like we have 1, 2, 3 grounds on which we must go when we work with somebody. First ground is greeting him, is getting along with him, is creating a contact with our client. This is the first point we have to do. The second point we must work on is, in reality, helping him to be in a disposition to work with us. We prefer to work with disponible persons. And the third ground is completely non-verbal. And if you have this in mind, it will be very easy to begin with. For example, if you do Ericksonian hypnosis, you can think that it is a little similar to the second ground. And after, there is the third ground. And you will see that the third ground will give you deeper access to the deepest self of your client. I want also to give you some hints about how to introduce some elements in non-verbal hypnosis, in your practice. For example, fascination. I personally use a very simple system. When a client arrives to me, I tell him, I will teach you how to use self-hypnosis for yourself. Everybody is very happy to learn self-hypnosis. And I explain him why. I tell him, because we will work, but after you must continue working even after this session. So if you have self-hypnosis, you can keep the result. The client is normally very happy. At this point, I have a mirror in my office. I have the client going in front of the mirror. I tell him the most easy way to learn self-hypnosis is with a mirror. There are also other systems, but this system is very easy. I will teach you. Now I will guide you. Go in front of the mirror and look at yourself here. Try not to blink. Immediately, I'm staying near the client and seeing how he reacts to his own gaze. I continue telling him, tell to yourself in the mirror to go backward. Tell to yourself of the mirror to come forward. Mentally tell it. And I teach practically the same stuff that we have in the basic exercise with the mirror in our training house. At this point, the client is ready to do fascination because he has already the habitude of looking at himself, because immediately the habitude in 2 minutes he will be ready to be looked at. Because why? Because he in some way has already looked at himself. He know is nothing strange. He knows also looking at himself can create sensations, can create something very interesting. And in reality is willing to be looked at, and so we can work very well with fascination. I want to say this is a way to frame it. I will give you another way to frame the work with non-verbal techniques. That can be very valid with magnetic passes. Sometimes you feel that for a person are more useful magnetic passes. In these cases, you will say to your client, I want to do with you now a test. This test is to, in some way, see your receptivity. Just put yourself here. Let you very relaxed and feel your sensation. Feel the sensation inside yourself. Close your eyes. Stay like this, I will do the test. After that, I begin to do magnetic passes. And doing magnetic passes, I see immediately the reactions of the person. After is my choice. I can continue a lot the magnetic passes, and the test will become an induction, or otherwise I will wake again the client and go for another exercise. Third way we can have to begin our session is when the client speaks a lot of some emotional issue. In this case we can use fascination almost immediately. We use the direct gaze fascination that will be explained in our videos. Practically, we bring him in the moment in which he is the most in the motion, in this moment, look at me. It is very natural, look at me. Where are you? Alone, with somebody. We do a regression just with the gaze. And doing a regression just with the gaze, we call it informal regression, will make the client ready also to a more formal regression where, for example, we will create a crisis. So you have at least 3 ways to frame your non-verbal practice. There are even other ways to frame your non-verbal practices. I invite you to experiment, and maybe you 2 a day you will bring some ideas about that. Thanks for the moment for your attention, and see us to the next video. Bye.